Hey guys, DLR here, back with my full review of the Logisys CS-301BK. Now I ordered this case from Amazon and I got it just a few days ago. I've been testing it out. I have a full text review available on my website if you want to go check that out. So that's pretty long if you want a full overview of the case. This is just going to be a brief video demo of the features of the case. So I'm going to start with the front panel. You can see just up top we have our 4 USB ports. Those work just fine. The only problem I have with that is if you could see there, the silver contact from your USB device, this one happens to go to my camera, which I'm actually using right now, so it's not there, but you get it. So the little silver piece, the contact, sticks slightly out of the port because the port isn't long enough. And that's just kind of annoying, not a huge deal though. And I don't know if you can really see the texture from this camera, but it's very textured right here. It almost looks like steel. It looks pretty nice. It's painted gray. Then down below that you have your 3 bays for optical drives. So this DVD thing right here, that's actually just a plate that comes off. So I don't know why they labeled it DVD, because it doesn't even fold up. It's not like a door or anything. That plate just pops out, so that's pretty much useless. Down below that I have my optical drive. I'm going to turn the case on in a minute so you can see just how the optical drive and everything works. And if I hold up my camera here to the side, you can see that the optical drive is flush with everything else, so looks pretty nice. Blends in very well, especially since this panel up here is gray, so it's sort of like an alternating pattern. It would work fine if you had a very black drive as well. Just pretty much any color of drive will do you, maybe even blue. That would look pretty nice with this case. So then down here we have our one open 3.5-inch drive bay for a card reader or a floppy drive. Down below that we have our nice big silver power button, our audio jacks, our 2-channel audio, and our microphone. Then over here we have a reset button. I haven't figured out how to get that to work yet with my motherboard, just simply because I don't have my motherboard manual. No big deal though. There we have a red hard drive disk activity LED, and then a blue LED for power. And there's also a blue LED ring around the power button itself, and that is like polished plastic, so it makes a nice circular pattern on the power button. And down here is just what appears to be another one of these textured grills, like the one up here that surrounds the USB ports. So I'm going to go ahead and power the case on. And there you go. You can see just how nice that looks. I should say that the actual color of the LEDs is a more mellow blue and red. It's not extremely bright, but they are pretty bright at night. I have to turn the case off to sleep with it because the lights are just too bright. And the fan is also pretty loud. So now I'll move on to the top and the sides. So you can see up here you've just got the bezel going around your front panel and a plain polished metal top with nothing special about it. On the left side panel you can see, there's my boot up sound, and you can see we've got a grill for another 80mm fan, as well as this to pull the side panel off, and another grill down here just to take some heat away from your graphics cards. And back here you can see we have thumb screws, and this is extremely rare for a case like this. That's a feature that you would usually only get on gaming cases. So I'm going to go ahead and take off this panel here so you can just see some of the innards of the case. Alright, before I pop that off, I'm going to show you this side panel. So that's just plain with the little indentation over there for pulling the panel off. You also have a raised motherboard tray, so if you pull the right panel off, you can actually use that for some cable routing, which is very nice. Okay, I'll pop the side panel off and just put that on the bed. I should say, sorry about the light, these panels are very, very flexible, so just be careful what you're doing with them or they will bend very easily. This is an overview of the panel. Alright, sorry, my room is a mess. Alright, so here's the innards. So you can see we have our included 480 watt power supply. Normally that would run you like $20 or maybe even $30, so that's a really awesome deal that they throw in that power supply, as well as this nice 80mm fan. So I've got my cord running from my fan to my power supply, and I could route the cord around the fan back there, and then behind the motherboard tray for some better cable routing. So you've got lots of room in this case, a huge amount, and it fits my micro ATX motherboard very well. It accommodates it nicely, and as you can see, all my card slots line up there, so I've got my PCI and my PCIe slot there with my graphics card in it. So those all line up. These shields, once popped out, cannot be put back in, so you'll just need to buy some card fillers on Amazon or something. That's not really a big problem. This screw right here, if you can see, that holds my graphics card in, is slightly bent at an angle, because if you see here, the lip of the case hangs over that screw hole a little too much, so it would be hard to do it without a very thin screwdriver. So you've got pluses and minuses just for design and for airflow on your card fillers. We have our connections running from our front panel to the motherboard. Reset switch just there all alone. Got our HD audio wires and everything running up to the front panel. And then something that's kind of silly to me is that the only SATA power connection running from the power supply is not long enough, so you cannot use this top 3.5-inch bay with the top 5-inch bay up there, so you have to have your optical drive on the middle bay, which seems kind of silly to me, unless you have an adapter. But that also helps me out because I can route my cables up there. I can also have my cables routed up there on top of the metal from this hard drive. Alright, so you can see, I wish I could tell you more about the temperature. It's extremely cool. My graphics card hovers right about around 50 degrees Celsius, and this card doesn't even have a fan. So I'm guessing if I did have a fan, it would be much cooler, and the case would be just incredibly cool. This 80mm fan probably runs about 12 or 1400 RPM, which is very fast, but it does create quite a noise, so I have to turn it off when I go to sleep. But that's not a big deal, because now my GPU stays nice and cool, so I get good boot up times, probably about 8 seconds before I can actually hit icons, so that's really nice. I don't really see a need to pop the right panel off, but I'm going to anyway, just to show you how some of the cable routing would work, so excuse me, I sort of just aim the camera at my hand. It's hard to do this. It's only one hand to actually grab things. Alright, I can do this. It's my subwoofer down there looking all awesome and stuff. Got the panel now. There we go. So now that just falls off. Alright, take this and put this down on the bed too. Alright, so let's see. Try to get a good angle on this. You can see back here we've got our board tray with just a tiny bit of room for some cable routing. Sorry, I'm sort of facing this at the wall. Yeah, it's very hard. Alright, there you go. So you can see motherboard rack and your drive racks down here. Alright, so I hope you guys found this review informative. I'm trying to get more free products from Logisys so that I can continue to review them for you guys. And I love this case. If you're looking to upgrade your case or just get a new case for a fresh build, this is definitely one way to look. It would also fit very well into a home theater PC because of the stylings on the front panel. That would look really nice. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and go check out the Logisys CS-301BK on Amazon.